Amongst your friends and groups, there must be at least one person who thinks that his or her sense of humor is God's gift to humankind. And every time you have a conversation in the group, this person comes out with their repartees and their one-liners, hoping to tickle your funny bone, instead leaving you writhing in the agony of frustration. Such a person has a very large blind area. They think they are very, very funny, whereas everybody around them knows that they would not be able to recognize a punchline even if it hit them in their face. You might also have had at least one manager who thinks he is the blue-eyed boy of the management. He thinks he is mentor, leader par excellence. But then everybody else knows he is not. Every time he speaks to you, he assumes that you're suffused in the glow of enthusiasm, whereas actually you're turning red in your face because you're gnashing your teeth so hard. Now this person too has a very large blind area. Far from being a good manager, is probably a great damager. Now all of us have this blind area within us. This blind area is something that hides us from the real facts of our characteristics and traits. We think we have certain characteristics and certain traits, whereas everybody who's close to us knows that we are far removed from what we think we are. We also have in us something called an unknown area, where a large amount of our potential and our talents lie, which is why most of us go through our entire life without realizing our true talents and our true potential. That is the reason why we should make it our life's quest to reduce this blind and this unknown areas into thin slivers, because not only will we be able to recognize a potential there, realize our true potential and our talents, but we will also be able to turn our sight into vision and see the opportunities offered by the real world, and we will also learn how to use our potential to synergize those opportunities. I want to share with you here the story of William Wrigley. Now, William Wrigley started the Wrigley Company in 1892 to sell soap. Now, soap was not very popular then. Baking soda was. So, in order to sell his soap, he would offer baking soda free as a promo. But soon, Wrigley, he found out that the soap market was not at all growing, whereas baking soda market was growing in leaps and bounds. So he decided that he'll do away with soap and start selling only baking soda. But then baking soda market was so competitive that he started offering chewing gum free along with the baking soda that he sold in order to carve for himself a small niche. But very soon he found out that the chewing gum market was actually growing faster than the baking soda market. So he did away with soap and baking soda and focused totally on selling chewing gum. And soon he found out that all the chewing gum that he was selling, or at least most of it, was being chewed by women. So in order to penetrate the male market, he came out with an exclusive male-oriented brand called Lotsa Gum. In 2008, Wrigley's was bought out by confectionery giant Mars for $26 billion. You see, William Wrigley was on a life's quest. Throughout his life, he kept discovering himself and realizing that the changing world offered different opportunities, and he was willing to change at each step when he learned something new. Now, unfortunately, many business persons are not willing to learn. Business people all over the world, they come out with a great idea and they think it's going to take them places. They launch it by sinking a lot of money into it, but the idea doesn't take off at all. But then these business persons are so steeped in their blind area, they are unable to realize that the opportunity the world offers is something else. So they are unwilling to change. They go on, sinking more and more money into their business till their business turns belly up. Fortunately, not every business person is like that. There are many like William Wrigley. You take, for instance, Henry Wells, and William Fargo. They started off as stagecoach operators in 1852 before switching to banking. And in 2015, Wells and Fargo was considered the largest financial institution in the world, larger than even the Bank of China. Then take Azim Premji. Azim Premji, when he was inducted into Wipro, the company was called Western India Products. Their main product was vegetable vanaspati. But then Premji had big dreams. He wanted to hit it big, and he knew the best way to hit big time was to get onto the IT bandwagon. And history tells us Wipro at one time was the fastest growing IT company in the world. Amitabh Bachchan started off as an executive with a pretty well-known company of those days before turning to acting. And look at him, he has changed himself, transformed himself at every stage of his career to become one of the greatest brands of India today. See these people, all these people, they started small, they started at a different angle altogether, then grew to become very big. The reason was they were constantly in that quest to discover themselves, rediscover themselves, look at the opportunities, the changing opportunities that the world offered, and galvanize themselves so that they could grow. So make it your life's quest today. Make it your life's quest today to embark on a voyage of self-discovery so that you can reduce your blind and your unknown areas into thin slivers, and that will really catapult you to much, much greater heights than where you are today. Good luck.